again. Also, again, I hope you enjoy the majestic hair. And something I've been noticing a lot from you guys lately is the fact of there was actually, I would say for at least me, there was a decent amount of people actually watching the live stream yesterday, like over the last 32, 33 viewers. If you would like to continue following me, feel free to subscribe to me if you'd like to. Not telling you what to do, just saying I would love to have more subs and love for you guys to be able to watch what I do. I am a giant baby with horror, and I'm sure you guys will see that soon because I'm pretty sure I'm going to start getting creepy. Oh. Pierce took the Hawkins case. The cursed artist is accused of having caused the fire that killed her and her family. As the only clue, she left her father a disturbing painting. On the shipping label, an address, a warehouse set on the docks of an island of dark water. The place seems to be the starting point for Pierce's investigation. So another thing I did like yesterday, I will be turning off my video every single time there's a cutscene, or at least try my best to. Try not to talk during cutscenes, obviously. Try not to talk during dialogue. I'll also be turning off during dialogue. The only time I have it on is basically whenever I'm playing and not talking to someone, because, you know, facial stuff might be important. Also, I apologize for all of you who get a little bit disgusted by tobacco use. I am an avid tobacco user, and you might see me occasionally do that. I'm sorry. This is how I stay sane with fucking horror games. I'm very bad at horror games. Alien Isolation. Never finished it. Too much of a baby. Also here notice in the background, I apologize, that is my roommate. He's literally right across from me. And he's downloading Fallout 76. And he's losing his mind. I said, no, I'm from West Virginia, so whenever I get Fallout 76, I'll be streaming it. Don't live there now, but I'm from West Virginia. Enter this. Well, hello game. Yes, I guess. Turn off full screen, turn it back on. There we go. Alright, should be okay now. Talk to control.
Do you like our song?
We're true sirens.
We may not be pros, but we give it all we've got.
That's true. It's a reminder of the time when we were still fishing for whales off Darkwater Island.
What brought whaling to an end?
The whales, of course.
They all disappeared.
You exhausted the stocks.
You could say that, yes. There were fewer and fewer of them.
Until the last, the biggest.
One of the miraculous catch.
Exactly.
I've never heard this song before.
Only people from here know it. It tells the story of the miraculous catch.
It's a local legend?
Watch what you say, young man.
That catch saved our island.
Ah. Where's the proof?
We're the proof.
Without it, the whole of Darkwater would have died of hunger in 1847.
It's true. Everything happened just as it says in the newspaper report.
What report?
The one that's framed right behind you. Our grandparents tasted its flesh.
And it was delicious.
I bid you farewell, gentlemen.
Good night, stranger.
So long.
Like, this is a theory for all you who know about Cthulhu's world, not the Lovecraft's world. that he created. I believe that these people have connections to, I believe, the Dark Ones. I believe I believe that are the Great Old Ones. A race of fish that live underwater that worship Cthulhu and will come up to land and mate with human females, and the offspring will create a human appearance and eventually shed their skin and turn into these monstrosities that return to the ocean to be with their own people. That's my theory currently. It's a big thing, especially for coastal towns and Lovecraftian kind of settings, so I think that this is kind of hinting at that, but I'm not sure right now. I like to throw up my theories. Back to this chick.
What you looking at, stranger?
The clientele is predominantly male.
Tell me something I don't know.
I meant nothing by it. I'm just wondering what a woman like you is doing in this flea trap.
And I'm wondering what could be going through the head of the chump who goes to disturb her. Let me drink, stranger.
She's a ball of joy, ain't she? Alright, let's go talk to Fitzroy.
And then he said, "You have no right to treat it."
The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
The Chantley, 21st May 1947. Hey, that was the day I was born. Day and month. The Sicily returns to port to save Darkwater from famine. We have given up hope. The crew of the Sicilia, or whatever remains of it, returned to Darkwater port late Tuesday afternoon. Locals immediately rushed to the docks to welcome the last whaling ship on the island. People were amazed at the sight of the unbelievable catch the brave vessel had on board. Of a size that went beyond that of a formidable toothed whales, the Celestian that has already been called the Miracle Catch covered the whole deck, and parts of it were hung over the side of the ship. The surviving sailors told a frightening account of a perilous catch, but also of its meat, unmatched in the quality and plentifulness, nutritious benefits. There are no doubts that the immense size of the whale will allow numerous inhabitants of Darkwater to feed themselves, bringing an end to the famine from which the parts of the island were suffering. Warehouse for rent. Mr. Marks is putting his warehouse for rent from June for fishing, workshop, or storage activities. You can contact him via favorite newspaper or visit him at the dock. Special events at Stranded Whale. To celebrate the return of our brave whalers, all staff of the Stranded Whale invite you to an exceptional and free tasting event. Come with your family or with friends. To taste miraculous catch, each person will leave with a bottle of oil, so don't hesitate. That's suspicious. That's odd. At least to me it's
And the
odd.
doctor, what did he say?
Miraculous catch is what the locals call the last catch of the whalers. In 1847, although the whales were disappearing from the fishing zone of Darkwater, the Darkwater whalers, the crew of the Sicilian made a gigantic and monstrous catch to save the island from famine. They still celebrate the catch. An article from the Times decorates the bar. It's strange how memories seem alive, and as if it was maintained by one of the survivors. Extract from the notebook Federal Press Detective. I'm not going to read all this. You guys can read it. Sorry, there's certain things I will read, certain things I won't.
You said it.
Where is this dude?
I'll do it again.
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear at various locations, gifted with its own consciousness, until it finds a new reader.
Alright.
Strong beer.
And then he said,
Where's
"You
Fitzroy at?
have no right to treat us like this."
Go, doctor. Cold. She won't stop asking.
Not that again. She will get us into trouble.
I like this because there's a lot of exploring.
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine.
She's partially an alcoholic. Before I go over here, let's get checked here. So we already got the whale, already got that.
But you can stay to watch if you want. You can pick up the pieces.
Come on, you bastard!
Nothing for you here
You'll
either.
see what a true sailor's
Beat
got in
it.
his belly. You hear that? You bilge-rats don't scare me.
What did he call us just now?
Find a Fitzroy is. I think
She will get us into trouble.
I know.
nope. Fine. Time for Fitzroy. I forget where Fitzroy's at. On this fucking room. Where the hell is Fitzroy?
She will do it again, you know.
Maybe he's up here. Yeah, that would make sense.
Broken. This place seems half abandoned. I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say about this woman, Cat.
Captain, the terms of our agreement are clear. Keep your men under control. You can't afford to provoke us. There's no need to answer this message. Just make sure your payment to the carrier, Cat.
The Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor.
Is it being choppy for you guys? It's kind of being choppy for me on my phone. Give me 1 sec, guys.
A souvenir from a more prosperous era. I guess this blackboard hasn't been wiped for more than 70 years.
It's being really choppy for me. Babe, are you there? If it is, let me know in chat if it's being choppy. Think about him, a teacher's ethics and good medical practice. This is kind of like walking in here, you're like, hey guys, what's up? I'm just gonna walk around your fucking house now. What? Oh, it's a candle.
This man and Fitzroy could be twins.
In this photograph, a man who looks like Captain Fitzroy is frozen on the bridge of a ship. He has a wooden leg.
What a macabre souvenir.
Hey, Scotland flag. Is it being choppy? Wait 1 second. Look around real quick and watch the stream on my phone. It's slightly choppy.
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, Come join me on the deck.
All right.
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins, but that's all I'll get from them.
Only a few dates are still legible. 1890, 1907, and a partial date. The rest of the documents is blacked out. Who would want this information to be hidden? Oh, that's creepy as shit. Oh, there you are. Okay, I was like, what the fuck?
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
I'm surprised Charles Hawkins had goods to store, knowing that whaling stopped in 1847.
I see that you're interested in the history of our island. Indeed, maritime activities ceased altogether at the end of the last century. I imagine that the Hawkins family had other types of contracts.
But you don't know with whom?
No, it was none of my business.
I was looking at your photograph. One of the man in front of the boat.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
I'm just back from the wharves. The dead killer whale is unsettling the sailors.
Ah, yes. Us men of the sea are superstitious folk.
I examined its wounds. I know of no creature able to cause them.
And I took you for a detective.
Believe me when I say that these wounds are significant.
Come. You've only just arrived on Darkwater, and already you think like a sailor.
The police took the decision to put the killer whale back into the sea.
You've got to understand them. They didn't know what to do with it.
I think that was a mistake. Who says that whatever caused those wounds is no longer in these waters?
You think we should have kept it?
To look into the real cause of its death, at least. The miraculous catch. Is it a local legend?
Not at all. It's an episode from our glorious past. Go read the story of the sailor's return to Darkwater Harbor. It's displayed on a wall of the stranded whale.
I found a threatening letter, signed by a certain cat.
What? I don't mind you visiting my harbor master's office, but I'd prefer if you didn't go through my affairs.
Are you being blackmailed?
Not exactly, no. That shyster wants to make us pay protection money.
With any success?
I wouldn't say that, but she terrifies my men as much as her own.
Can you not do anything to stop her?
Don't you worry about that.
I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely. Ship owners from father to son.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse. I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
I think my theory is starting to hold up. I think these people are the Dark Ones. The thing I was talking about, like the creatures from the sea that worship Cthulhu that made with humans. Oh, you're done fighting finally! Okay, let's go have a look around. Oh, you're shady as shit looking.
You saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with the bootleggers.
I've seen the kind of messages their boss sends. You're not scared of her.
Of course I am. Everyone's scared of that woman. She's not interested in small fry like me. You, on the other hand, nose around too much, you'll have dealings with her.
This warehouse looks abandoned. Why does it interest them so much?
No doubt a question of territory, but I ain't asking. You want to know more, go ask the captain.
Good. Thank you. I shall take my leave.
Yeah, something weird is going on. Like, I don't know. It's very unsettling to me. This lever attaches to a mechanism.
A handle. It must come from these old winches.
Oh, I wonder where it could possibly lead to! This part enables heavy loads to be lifted and held aloft without risk.
This ratchet device seems to be usable.
Let's look around before I fuck with that.
A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil.
This cogwheel is part of the mechanism.
An old cogwheel. Rusty, but in working order.
With me, I'm very slow in games. I like to make sure that I have everything before I proceed forward.
It looks like there's a way in under this grate.
Just gotta figure out to get upstairs now. Ladder will do.
I could use this old winch to lift the grating. Looks like everything is in its place. All I have to do is turn this handle. Ugh.
Alright. Again, Tessa, do you see any choppy frames at all, or is this running smoothly? Because for me it's showing it's kind of choppy. Oh, that ain't creepy at all. Alright, so being in that gas is obviously not good for my health. Alright. I want to know what it is.
Smoke. It's coming from this oil. I hope it's not toxic.
How about no? How about no? How about we don't? How about we don't? Holy shit, that scared the fuck out of me. No, 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 no. Please, no, let go of me! The gas is a hallucinogen. Okay. Boats.
This is primitive.
No, really? I have a feeling something really bad's about to happen.
Ugh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case? What happened here? Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this? It smells as bad as it looks. Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings?
So the guy obviously broke his hand by punching a mirror. Broke his hand, broke the mirror by punching it. Is there anything in here I can take? Have a look at. This isn't creepy at all. It's a bed, that's a dead skeleton, those are nice hunks of meat. Alright, let's get the fuck out of this room.
Someone has settled in here. And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! You again. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
Look around you. Someone has settled in here. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it. It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene? Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again. This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why, you...
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
Who the hell are you? What were you doing on my turf? I've got my eye on you. We'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do.
Chapter 3, Garden of Hawkins Mansion. Pierce managed to get into the warehouse. The place was thought to be abandoned, revealed some surprise. Signs of recent occupation as well as a partly charred painting interrupted his search by an Officer Bradley. Pierce convinced him to join his investigation. Police officers willing to drive the detective to the Hawkins mansion.
Well, here we are. Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
He's clearly not doing any gardening.
You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family, so he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
You won't get me to believe that it looked any better 3 months ago.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
It's got nothing to do with Charles Hawkins' debts.
Ha! You've already begun to nose around, it would seem. So, since you already know it, the Hawkins family couldn't afford the upkeep of this house. It remains to be seen what they did with all their money. I wager it was Charles Hawkins' travels. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though, he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
Why not? You can help.
Right. Let's go.
Nope. Thanks. Made the first mistake. Indeed, Lovecraftian stuff. Trusting the random NPC. So I know this guy could be the occult leader. Who knows? Well, I guess we'll find out. Damn, it is pretty choppy. Hey guys, I'm gonna pause the stream and restart it. That might be able to help. Alright, let's see if that helps. Kinda helped.
Poor kid. Charles Hawkins' grave. Who could have done this?
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It's said that he's devastated.
Let's go to the mansion.
Please give me a minute. I didn't expect to set foot back here after the burial. What kind
The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh. The caretaker takes great care of these graves.
And something's perking up my MP nose. Something's not right here. It's bothering me. Are we gonna go?
The caretaker takes great care.
I guess we're going to the mansion, buddy. Are you coming along, or are we just gonna sit here all day and just stare at these here graves there, bud?
Bradley was right. This place is much older than I imagined.
Lay me down and sleep. I'm awakened. The Lord sustains me. Psalms 35. Alright, so I'm gonna refresh the stream and start up part 3. That way it hopefully refreshes the stream, because it is being quite choppy for me. So I'll be right back.